China came out on Wednesday at the very end of September and said some things to cause the dollar to weaken. Actually, it really kind of just helped what was already happening. The question then becomes, why is China doing that? Why is China helping the dollar to weaken? Well, before I explain why I think they're doing that, let me warn you that this analysis is going to contain total speculation and conjecture and is backed up by only a smattering of actual facts. So, what are the smattering of actual facts? Well, China is currently the world's largest holder of U.S. federal debt, and other than the U.S. government, they are the world's largest holder of U.S. dollars. Both of those two things might have you thinking that China would be interested in a strong dollar. And I'm going to explain what is up their sleeve here in just a bit. Why are they saying things to weaken the dollar when what they want is a strong dollar? You see, they also are the world's largest buyer of U.S. dollar priced commodities, things like oil, and then the metals as well, palladium, platinum, gold, silver, and copper, where they buy extraordinary large quantities of those things to help fuel their rapidly growing economy. The bottom line is that it is in China's national interest for the U.S. dollar to be as strong as possible. So how can it be in their interest for the U.S. dollar to be as strong as possible on one hand, while on the other hand, they're saying things that they know are going to cause the dollar to weaken? The reason for that is this chart right here. And really, it is the thin red line at the top of the chart. You see, what China is trying to do is set up a long-term downtrend in euro dollar. And by the way, that's what that chart is. It is euro dollar on the 1 month time frame. You see, the benchmark standard for determining the strength of the dollar is the euro dollar pair. So if they can cause euro dollar to move up until it hits that red line, bounces off, and then starts to head back down again, they can create sort of a psychological resistance spot that would, in effect, cause euro dollar to go into a long-term downtrend, and that means the U.S. dollar strengthens over the long term. Now, understand that what we're talking about here is over the long term, and China really does have a gift for taking the long view of things. So if you trade on the 1 month time frame, then this is useful information for you. If it isn't, then where this becomes useful is to sort of gauge what is likely or possible to happen on a longer time frame and when. Now, how can you know if this is really the case? Well, if we start to see one of these monthly candles before the end of this year start to slide negative, and Russia comes out and says bad things about the dollar, which would then cause the dollar to weaken, euro dollar starts to push up again. Then when it hits that red line, China and Russia then come out and start saying good things about the dollar. Then you know that this is what's happening. They're trying to engineer a long-term downtrend in euro dollar. They're trying to sort of create the mentality that that's going to be what's happening. Now, I want to be clear about something. Russia and China has done this in the past. In fact, that second peak where the lines touch, where the candles touch against the red line, is when they did it the last time. So because they've already done this in the past, they started saying bad things about the dollar to push it up. And then when it got to where they, I guess, wanted it, then all of a sudden they came out and started saying good things about the dollar. It leads me to believe that this is what they're trying to do. They're trying to force an overall long-term downtrend in euro dollar, and that long-term downtrend in euro dollar equates to a long-term strengthening in the US dollar. Hope that makes sense. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment, and I will do my best to answer.